Yeah, it was fine. The other Do you hear me now?
Lovely.
Okay, thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Good morning from my end, and welcome to One Global Movement Speak with Heart Tuesday edition. And I am going to bring this computer right close to my mouth because I am on the farm and I am carrying out the show from the farm. So the network here is not the best, just in case it kicks me out. But we're going to be done today quickly, just so it doesn't kick me out here. But it's always been good. I don't know what is wrong with the network here. Turn off the car. I don't know what is wrong with the network here. So thank you so much. And today we are going to celebrate the life and birthday of one of our ambassadors, Ambassador Sana Jerome. Her birthday is today, and we thank the Almighty God for blessing us with children like her that are working tirelessly behind the scene for One Global Movement. In schools, they are knowing them everywhere. I get all the messages. They are so bent. And these kids, I'm telling you, they just do it with the purity from their heart, and they know this is the good thing that they're doing. And when they speak, they don't waver. They just speak exactly what it is. They know that we need a lot of changes in the world. So we're going to celebrate her here today. And it's a coincidence. Today is Women Empowerment. And here she comes with her birthday today. So thank you guys so much. And pray for us and all of us and all our children and all our families across the globe, especially this time around that we are always on the farm here because we can never speak about anything without feeding the children and feeding them the right way. Eating healthily is what we are here for, because if we don't feed our children healthily, they will not be able to study. They will not be able to build a future that they want for themselves, and therefore they will not be able to help us. So it's so important for me. That's why you're going to see me in a lot of action. We are hurrying up because pretty soon the snow is going to start falling and we will not. So we want to spread the natural manure all over so that we'll leave it to sit and then soften up for when next year comes for us to plan. So I want to appreciate each and everyone here. Is the managing director, Sister Yvonne here, who is also that director behind the scene. Doesn't like to be called that name, but she is, because she's doing a whole lot, and she has that expertise and experience more than a lot of us here, which I so much appreciate, because my grandmother, my mother said, always look for your big sister out there. Always look for your mother out there. Always look for your father, your brothers out there, wherever you go, and work together with them. And this is it. And I thank you, Mr. Ashmafare, for making this happen all over the world for us to see it into our various initiatives and our contribution to humanity from our heart. So let's get going. Mr. Partha is supposed to be here today, but um, he has not indicated if he's coming or not. But whether or not somebody comes, hey, we are bent on doing this. Come rain, come sunshine, we will do it. I am here to pick up after everyone so that we can continue. That consistency is here. And like you can see, me, Sister Yvonne and I are maintaining that consistency, making sure. But remember, you must take care of yourself when you know that you need to, because without that, we cannot do this. So thank you so much. And today is the Mantle of Hope Revolution Part 253, Women Empowerment. And I ask you guys to have a tenacious Tuesday. Be so tenacious that nothing can divert your attention from what you are focusing on. So now, empowering a woman empowers the world. We all know that. Empowering a woman empowers the world. One global movement believes in the ripple effect of every woman who rises, lifting not only herself but entire communities. We all know this. Women are the silent whispers behind the scene. And no matter what, they are ready. They are multitasking. They are multiplying. They are making sure that the family stays intact. They are making sure that they cook good food. And while the father is also making sure that they are providing what is necessary. We all are playing those roles here, and we will continue to play them until we, we know that and feel that every child has been touched in a loving, kind, and humble way. So when a woman's potential is unlocked, the world gains a powerful source of change. One global movement stands by all women and celebrating her strength and resilience. And this is where the ambassador of today falls, because we are celebrating her life. Empowerment
Mhm.
is the flame that lights up paths unknown. Empowerment. When you empower somebody, you don't know what that empowerment is going to do, but we are for sure that it's going to light up flames. But we don't know what kind of flame, but we know that they are positive flames. So we encourage and we are pleading and pledging that each and every one of us empowers the woman, especially the young girl that all odds have been pitted against them in society. We cannot be here and do not help these young women. So empowering is the flame that lights up paths that we don't know. And one global movement fueled the fire in women, both young and older, transforming dreams into unstoppable journeys. Nobody can stop these journeys for these women. A woman empowered is a family strengthened. We know that. A
Mhm.
woman empowered is a family strengthened, a community uplifted, and a generation inspired. Just imagine what we're going to do here. One global movement embraces this vision for a brighter, more just world for every woman and every young girl. And remember, when you empower a woman, you're not just empowering that woman, you're empowering generations behind her. And you're also helping to contribute to appreciate the generations that have gone before that woman. And together, we invoke the generation before us and empower that behind us. And then we'll make the world a better place for all. Strength, grace, and wisdom are the pillars of empowered women. Strength, grace, and wisdom are the pillars of empowerment for women. One global movement nurtures these qualities in every woman, paving the way for women to thrive and lead with a focus on young women. Empowerment isn't just a goal. It's not just a goal that you just write. It is a right in itself. It is a right that women have been born with. One global movement is dedicated to ensuring every woman stands tall inside of herself with dignity, pride, and endless opportunities. In empowering these women, one global movement unlocks the boundless potential for when she rises, everyone rises with her, creating waves of hope across the globe. And we should always never forget and always remember that to empower a woman is to shape the future. One Global Movement envisions a world where women's voices resound and their influence transforms life. Let us listen and listen to women, and we in turn, women, let us listen to our children and our men and every word, because sometimes even when people don't advocate well, they don't know how to voice their concerns well. Just listening will empower them to do it better. Let's not criticize. Let's not say women cannot be leaders. Those things are not necessary. A woman is already the most powerful leader in the world. With the way we multiply, we bring families together, we bring children together, we work even in tears. Let us empower these women to rise. And because we are here, I know that that's what we are doing. I was empowered as a young girl by my grandmother, my mother, and my village. And that is the more reason why I'm here today. And that is the more reason that I speak with so much passion and power, because it has to be done. Because if it wasn't done for me, I would not be alive today. So, what does women empowerment means to you? Begin to put it in the chat. Sorry, the flies are after me. Begin to put it in the chat. Begin to put it in the chat. What does women empowerment means to you? Women empowerment is the process of equipping women with the resources, skills, and confidence they need to make choices and exercise control over their lives. And it begins with love. It begins with honesty. It begins with freedom. It begins with us acknowledging that a woman was born and created by the same creator that created all of us all. When we acknowledge this, then we will invest and empower women. It enables social, economic, political, and personal domains, aiming to create environments where women have equal rights, opportunities, and recognition. This includes access to quality education, academy. Academy comes to play here. Economic independence, legal rights, healthcare, and a voice in decision-making processes, whether in the family, in the workplace, in the community, in our little groups, and even in the world, on the world stage. This is very, very important, instead of relegating them to the background. Imagine your daughter being relegated to the background. How are you going to feel? We see, we hear, we feel a lot of women are crying out for their daughters that are being lost. Lost in a world where the woman's body is being used and dumped. Lost in a way that young girls are being raped. Lost in a way that young girls are being used as marketing tools. Lost in a way that young girls are being persuaded to change and temper with themselves in such ways that they want to be thin. I want to be thin so much like the Hollywood. I want to be like this. Instead of embracing the body that God has given them, instead of helping these young girls to eat healthily, we make them to develop other disorders that are not good. Anorexia, all of those things, purging themselves, binging and purging, and then they get sick, mental illness, what have you. A lot of things are happening. So empowering women is a crucial part of building resilient and fair societies. Tell me about any society that doesn't have the woman. You are here because of a woman. I am here because of a woman. We all are here because of a woman. Think about Holy Mary. Think about the woman. Think about what the scripture says about the woman. And Maya Angelou could not have depicted it so right, that a woman in harmony with nature is like a river flowing. She goes where she will and arrives at her destination, prepared to be herself and only herself. She wrote this because women don't, they're not treated like equals. Women are not given the opportunities. And so we have to come out. This conversation is not supposed to be to be the way we are talking today, because these are things that are supposed to already been there existing, because we were born with these rights, inalienable rights. But if you look around, a lot of us, we talk about our mothers that were maltreated, our mothers that are still maltreated, our mothers that fend for the family when the family resources is being ravaged in ways that are not productive. Mothers that are they will fall on top of their children to protect their children from from gunshots. Imagine, just imagine. Why have we ever asked ourselves this question? Why? But we are here to answer that why, because we are standing firm to change the rhetoric, the dynamic of the way that the woman and the young girl are being treated in the world. So empowering the woman is very crucial. One of the first foundation of uplifting humanity. It uplifts not only individual women but also families. Remember, our children, they depend on these mothers, on these women. You depend on the woman. We all depend on women. And so it is not just empowering the woman alone, but the battalion of families and generations that lay behind the woman. And we need to do this. Communities, we are here as women in one global movement here. We have tons and millions of children, of other women that rely on us. What are we going to do? Are you going to bite your tongue and dig your heels in and say, I am going to make sure that no child goes to bed hungry. I am going to make sure that even there is a way for the child to eat. They need to eat the right food, like I am doing here on the garden. Or you just gonna sit and say it's none of my business? No, we will never be happy. To turn a blind eye, to look the opposite direction where a woman is suffering or a young girl is suffering, is a crime against humanity. It's a crime against the Creator, because we have been commissioned to treat women like we are treating our bodies. This is for the men. The scripture says, treat the woman just like you would treat your own body. But I also know that some people don't treat their bodies well because of illness or some other thing, or because of abuse, and they are confused. They don't know what to. We also understand that. And that is why we say here that we don't judge, we don't discriminate, we do not exclude people. We give choices. We give choices. And this is what is going to help us to help these women, these mothers, these young girls worldwide. So when women have urgency, they contribute to a circle of positive change by advocating for healthier, more educated, and empowered future generations. You see, we are talking here, uh, me and Sister Yvonne, here, we know what we're doing in the world. And that is the most important. How can you empower a woman without making sure that she eats well, she drinks clean water? How can you empower a woman without making sure that she has the basic necessities? This is what we are doing here. Without those necessities that we are born with, we are not getting anywhere. So we are providing healthy food, clean water supply, clothings, homes, and other things. You name them here in One Global Movement to empower women. Because when we empower these women, we empower whole communities, whole villages, whole families, and the whole world. The world is a global village. We can do that. I don't know what I was thinking, but I think God sent me along the right path to say the whole world. It has to be, because nobody deserves to suffer. Nobody deserves to go to bed. No child deserves to go to bed without food, or no child deserves to stay at home without a quality education. And because an idle mind is the devil's workshop, things happen. They begin to happen to these children, and we say, oh, that child is bad. The parent didn't train that child well. Oh, the mom didn't take care of that child well. What are you doing to empower the mom so that the mom can take good care of these children? Is what we are talking about here. So in what ways can we empower these women to be their best? Before we do this, and Sister Yvonne, jump in at any time that you feel, excuse me, to talk about it, I will tell you a little bit of me again, because I like to carry this story to all corners of the globe. I am a child that was conceived, born, and partly raised in controversy. Yes, you heard me right. And my life circumstances were not the best. I was in a place where no child, absolutely no child should ever be made to visit. But I visited it all. And thank God for my grandmother, my community, and other people around the world that held my hand to cross over. And I know that those people are right here too, right now. People continue to hold my hand to cross over. As an 11 years old, I was forced into marriage to a 38-year-old man. And my grandmother said, no, under my watch, this child will never marry. She has to be educated like the other children. I went through a lot of physical beating, emotional torture, and psychological difficulties. And the bush was my home. The bush was my home, but my grandmother met me at different places in the bush to teach me, to educate me, to do whatever it took. And eventually, I went to school and the community joined her in the village. And I am here today. These are real stories. And I'm the only survivor among the girls that went through this. And why? So I cry a lot. That is why I said I would do whatever it takes until I die. Because if they didn't do it for me, I would not be here. Those
Yeah.
girls are dead and long gone. And that is why I am here. And I said I would do it, whether by myself. And I know that I'm not doing it by myself. I'm doing it with the one that created me.
Yes.
And I really want to thank you all for putting your hand here together. This is what Mr. Ashby, why he established Unpassive,
Yes, it
to
is.
uplift humanity from the heart.
Mm-hmm.
And the first step of achieving that, we've got it. Human resources. We are here because of him. And we must not take this lightly. We must not. So, what are some of the ways that we can empower these women, both young and old, to be their best, to be self-independent, self-sufficient, to really know that they can do what another woman can do, what another person can do? If given the opportunity, they can do it. What are the ways? We always talk about, first of all, knowing thyself. Know yourself. Knowing who you are, number one, and know whose you are, who created you. When you know this and you know your purpose and where you're going with that purpose, you know that you will do wonders. You can do it. I was groomed and loved and nurtured and educated by my grandmother. Even she recruited a Sunday school teacher to teach me, because my father would not let me go to my grandmother's home. And so my grandmother was too smart for my father. Different places in the bush, whether I'm going to fetch for water or firewood, or I'm going to the farm or whatever, my grandmother was there. There was a spirit speaking to me. I will always gravitate towards certain areas, and there my grandmother is everywhere. And so this is what we are saying here today. And imagine, how can you educate a child without food, proper nourishment? How can that happen? I'm speaking here today. I ate oatmeal this morning before coming here. That is healthy. Do you know how many children are in the world that don't even have just a spoon? They are eating farm rodents, raw farm rodents. They are, some are eating cockroaches. You know, I almost, I want to burst out in tears, because it's not supposed to be. It's not supposed to. I've seen it and I know it. And we must not play with the lives of children. We must, especially these women. We know that sometimes it can be hard, but we need to understand that we don't come from the same background, the same orientation. We don't come from the same life circumstances. We need to. We need to treat these people the way they are, instead of labeling them, trying to really erase discrimination, oppression, erase it from us. You can be the one to change that in your community, and then to change the lies that women have been told in the world, to let them have that right that they were created with. So education is number two. Education empowerment, educational empowerment. The access to quality education is what we are talking about here, like academy, where you educate a woman according to what she loves to do, not what you impose on her. And you expose her to the same quality schools that all other women are exposed to and their children. And we give them the same rights without discrimination. And this thing starts from the home. When you discriminate against your own family, that's exactly the same thing they're going to face in the world. But we can change it. But sometimes it is being forced onto the women. So quality education is very, very important. Providing free or affordable primary, secondary, and higher education for women and young girls, along with resources like scholarships, which One Global Movement is going to be creating scholarships and grants in the places where we know that absolutely giving a child or a woman a scholarship they cannot pay, we give them grants. And that is what I am doing. I've been sponsoring like 15 children or more until I couldn't do it about 2 years ago or more because of my accident. But we can do this. If you just need to say, I am going to do it, and you take a leap of faith and start doing it. I didn't know what I was doing when I said I'm going to do it. But the moment you open your heart and you start doing something, hey, things begin to flow. Things begin to flow. I'm telling you, it flows to me every day. This morning, a friend that I used to work with when I just got into this country, she called, and there we go. It just keeps flowing. It just keeps flowing. This is very, very important. Then skill-based training. We don't just go to school to learn the theory. Remember, we need to teach us courses. Encourage our kids, because when you encourage a woman, you encourage our children, they are going to dig within them and find out that one thing that they love to do, and they build on that. And these things must be the kind of skills that build them up economically. Without that economic base, there is nothing. We will not be able to empower women and children. We have to help them skill-based training. What do they love to do? What do they like to do, like computer sciences? Do they like to do farming? Do they like to sweep the street? Do they like to cook? Do they like to sew? Like Reverend James Rafiki is doing in Rwanda with those young girls that are stranded? What do they like to do? What can we do? Can they use local materials? Because there are things everywhere that they can use. We train them to use local materials where they are and begin to build themselves up with that, and therefore build their families. That is what we can. Skill-based, offering vocational and technical training programs, particularly in high demand areas or high demand fields. We talk about engineering. We talk about the health field. We talk about agriculture. We talk about a lot of things are out there, and we're going to be bringing these programs out so that our children would know that these programs are there. Maybe they want to apply for schools, and sometimes they can divert their attention, but they know that, you know what, hey, One Global Movement is here. If they want to apply into a certain school and they don't know what to do, and or maybe they are trying to divert their attention, come to us. We will follow you. I've followed students to school to help them in schools to get what they want without somebody trying to divert their attention. And this is very serious, because I was followed to school by my grandmother, who didn't know how to read and write, making sure that the right thing was done to me. My mother followed me everywhere, so we can do that. And then we can talk about digital literacy. Digital literacy with a balance, not relegating ourselves, our system just onto the computer or our children. We do that, teaching digital skills and access to technology. That's what we are doing here right now. I was born with this technology, but I never had the opportunity. I only had it to do my research and write my thesis in university. But now, hey, look at me here because of Unpassive. Nobody can try me at all. Nobody. Because I know what to do. If I don't know, I'll be knocking at the doors of other people, and I'm not going to leave them alone until I get what I want. And my grandmother said that. Be nosy. Ask. Be nosy. The scripture says it too. Ask. If you don't ask, you're not going to get it, right? So that is very important. And then we talk about mentorship and leadership programs. We also have mentorship and leadership programs right here in One Global Movement that we are building. You need to, if you don't know something, even when you do know, still look for a mentor to discuss what you know with that mentor. Still do that, because you cannot know something and keep quiet with it, and you discuss it. Then now you also learn other ways that are going to add onto what you're doing. That's what we do. This is what we are doing here. Academy in action. We come together to discuss those things. So we talk about economic empowerment, which we already touched on already. Access to financial services, to grants and other things. That expanding access to bank accounts and credit, financial literacy programs, so women can manage and grow their finances. We're going to be having I took a financial literacy class more than 7 years ago. I started teaching my son, in addition to what my grandmother taught me and my mom. So we teach them, so the child grows up to know. We start with the piggy bank. You teach them how to use a dollar, not just to take it and go and buy suckers or some other thing and deplete that $1. No, you ask the child to divide the dollar into 3 or 4 sections. But as they go along, you can start with 3. As they go along, now you teach them to divide into 4 or 5 different accounts. Take a dollar. What do you do? 30% of that dollar, 30% is supposed to be saved. 10% you give it away in charity, teaching the child to be a giver, to contribute to causes that matter. They can go to, you can take your child, the piggy bank, and say, I'm going to the St. Jude's Hospital. You see how happy they will be, by helping somebody's life. And then the other 60% is to buy good food, to buy your clothing, to pay your other bills, your home, your rent, whatever. When you start a child like that, oh my God. My son, I started him very young because I learned from my grandmother, and he is doing so well with that. And sometimes he'll be the one to try to monitor me not to spend carelessly. Okay. He's trying to be more than the teacher now, which is good, because you teach the children and let them lead the way, and then you can also learn from them, right? So that is very important. Then support for women entrepreneurs. We need to do that. One Global Movement is going to be going around the world, seeing the kind of thing that they are doing. We support them to grow. When a woman grows, they're independent, their children are independent, their children will grow up to be the same. And then market access for female artisans. Now I'm looking for marketing for One Global Movement, so that when these things start, I will really distribute them so quickly. And then we use that money to do other things, not just selling everything. We distribute some of the food in schools, in refugee camps and other things. And in hospital, we go to the mothers that just give birth to newborn babies. We do something. And then the rest we can also sell to raise money for One Global Movement, children. So social empowerment, community-based support groups, establishing women support networks within community for shared learning, support, and advocacy. Advocating. When you advocate for one woman, you advocate for the entire family and for all the children. We want our children, those that are so young now, from a minute old to 7 years old, and those that are going to be born, to imbibe this concept so that they grow up with them, erase those that have already been tinted. We want to be able to help them to erase that kind of poverty mindset that have been so buried deep down in them. And we have to do that starting with ourselves first. Because when you cry, I don't have this. No, you do. You do have. Everybody has. I do. We should never have to cry because we have it. When you cry, that's exactly the kind of mentality that you're putting onto your own family, onto your own children. So we need to empower women. And you see women every day in our community really doing things. So
Yep.
that is so, so important. And we need to clap for them. We need to cheer them on. We need to support them. We need them to know that One Global Movement is here for them.
Yep.
When it
Yep.
starts, when One Global Movement starts, nobody can stop it. We are building a solid foundation that it will never be broken or shaken, even long after we are gone. Until the end of times, One Global Movement is going to be here, and
Yep.
our descendants take it and move forward with it. So social
Yes.
empowerment is very, very important. Gender sensitization program, gender sensitization program. You heard me talk about gender inequality because I'm a girl, I'm a woman. They discriminated upon me. So this is very, very important. Educating communities on gender equality to reduce stereotypes and create a supportive environment for women and girls. This is very important. The fact that you are a girl doesn't mean that you cannot be an engineer, you cannot be a CEO of a company, that you cannot own your own organization. No.
Okay.
Accessible health and wellness services. The woman's
Yes.
body is different, and we need to
Mhm.
pay particular attention to the woman's body, beginning
Mhm.
with our young girls. Because if they don't know their body, they don't know how to take care of their bodies, it's not good for them. And they don't have the material that are needed to take good care of their bodies, that is not good for them. So ensuring that women have access to comprehensive health care, including mental health support, mental care, and reproductive health services is very important. Teaching them how to do all of these things. We talk about political empowerment. Look at one of our candidates here is a woman, and people talk ill about them. Even some of us women, we do, because we have been so grown to think that the woman doesn't have to measure up with the man, and that is not the way God created it. God created the woman and put at the side of the man to be his equal, not to trample upon, not to think that they don't belong. That is very important. So we have to talk civic education, offering education on rights, voting, and political process so that women can make informed decisions and participate actively. Support for female leaders. Let's support our female leaders here in Unpassive. Let's support one another in whatever way, with your voice, with 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 your presence, like we are doing here, with pledging to contribute to one global movement. And policies and legal obligation is so important, but most importantly is spiritual empowerment. I'm going to let Sister Yvonne talk on spiritual empowerment, that which is so important.
Okay. Thank you. I just want to say that we talk about empowerment. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I am.
I have to go back to that. You see, we're coming at this I think it's time we started changing the rhetoric, because when we say that, we give people the idea, the other half, that it's at their behest that we should get. But the thing is, it's because of the artificial obstacles placed in women's way why we are behind, right? This need for empowerment. We are a separate breed, and we have different leadership. We have different way we look at things, and it's equal and separate. I like that term. Women are different, as you just ended there a while ago with saying women's body. It's not just our bodies, it's even the way we see things, but it's not inferior. It's different. And so we are part of the whole. It takes the two of us, it's a coin. It takes the two of us to chart this path to the world, right? So when, as Malala says, when she says we cannot all succeed when half of us are held back.
Mm-hmm.
We're not succeeding, and we know we're not succeeding. The world is unbalanced because it lacks the other part, which is what we bring, what women bring. I would tell a story about spiritual, as you say. There's a woman, Abigail, in the
Mm-hmm.
Bible, and she was married to this man, and he was not a good man. He was raucous and didn't see a far way down the road. He wasn't spiritual at all, and so he attacked verbally and with disrespect David. Now, David is a massive king and could have wiped out that whole community. But she immediately saw what needed to be done. And with her words and her calm, gentle nature and her beauty and just the way she approached it, she quickly went to David, beholden herself, not in any cheap way, but just to save her village, her town.
Yep.
Men tend to want to go at it always with a need for war. There was no need for it. He just used his words, the husband, and provoked David. And David said, thank you for doing that, because she said things to him like, you're going to be a great king and you don't want to have innocent blood on your hands. That's what she said to him, right? Mm-hmm. This is a woman's way. Men don't, I'm sorry, listen to me. Men don't generally speak like that. They want to show who is bigger and who's stronger. But she sees the value of saving her people, her babes, her children in her town. And so she spoke to David in that way, And he came to see sense and he said, thank you for doing that because you're right. So don't act as if women are subservient. We just approach things differently. It was a win. It was a win for that community because of
Mm-hmm.
her. Esther saved her whole race by
Mm-hmm.
putting her life on the line. And right on down generation, Rahab, Sarah, Hannah, all these are spiritual women, but they never went to war. The war was for the men. That's a different story. But they managed to save their nations over and over and over again because of how they approached a situation. This is what is lacking in the world. So stop acting as if
Yes.
it's something that men should give us. We are empowered. We just need to have the artificial obstacles and challenges out of our way because men, or the other half, if you want to call it that, want to maintain the status quo, right? The status quo has led us to where we are now, on the brink of war again, right? So
Mm-hmm.
spiritually, we
Yes.
need that part of what women bring to the table. And I'm not saying men can't be spiritual. I'm simply saying we allow all of us to be part at the table, all of us.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And talking about that, I think you're going to be working on editing a book that I'm writing about all the women in the Bible, because I'm writing
Great.
a book
I
on
will be
that.
happy to
Because
do that. It's
yes, that is such a powerful thing. It might take a
yeah.
minute here. When this foundation gets going, we have a lot of books that we need to get into the hearts and hands of women and children. So
Yes.
important. So
Yes.
important. And thank you so much for quoting those biblical women that stood
Yeah.
firm without
Yeah.
fighting, without pointing a finger, without a
Nope.
sword, without a gun, without
Nope.
without harsh words. This is so
Yep.
important for
Yep.
for
Mhm.
us to learn. We don't
Yep.
need that. And
Yep.
no, this is, I'm so grateful that you quote those women in the Bible. And God, we will bring it out. Thank you so much. And
You were.
what are the benefits? So many benefits of empowering women. We already talk about economic growth, improve
Mhm.
health and well-being. Because when you improve the health and well-being of a woman, what do you do? What have you done? You have done it for everyone. Remember,
Yes.
what affects a
Yes.
woman here in the United States will affect a woman all over the world. It's the same thing too with children. And then we talk about educational advancement. If I was not educated, I would not have been here today. And not just any
Mhm.
kind of education, good
Mhm.
education, skill, vocational education,
Mhm.
technology. Let us give women a chance to try. You can only give them that opportunity and they can try. If it doesn't work, they know what will work for them. Let us get
Mhm.
everybody, every woman included. You know,
Yep.
a woman's place is not just always in the kitchen.
The
It's
home.
not
No.
always at home. It's not
No.
just being a garden where people go and sow seeds and expect those seeds to come out as babies. No,
Mhm.
no. I saw my mom going through hell. I've seen a lot of women right now as we speak. A lot of women, even in our communities here, they're going through a lot in the hands of men.
Mhm.
But I
Mhm.
also do know that there are some women that are not doing right, but there has to be something that is not going on that we don't understand why they are behaving the way they are behaving. But we seek to
Mhm.
look for ways, for solutions, for help
Mhm.
that can help these women. That is very
Mhm.
important. And then another advantage is that reduction in poverty. If we empower the woman, it reduces poverty. If I was not empowered by my grandmother and my mother and other women in my community, I would not be here today. I would not. And my mother is still here today, still empowering me. My other grandmother is still here. One of my grandmothers is still here. She's 108. Pretty soon she'll be 109. Still strong and
Mhm.
going, you know.
Wow.
So the
Mhm.
power of women, and she, women, they speak the blessing. When you
Yes.
empower a woman, you educate a woman, the children will follow. The scripture says it. They take after the mother. And so it's so important that we do. They also take after the father, but by nature, they mostly take after the mother. All of you here
Mhm.
say, my mom, my mom. How many times do we hear people say, my dad, my dad, my dad? Mama,
Yeah.
mama, all the time. And it's by
Mhm.
nature, it's not something that we made it. That's just the way it is. We talk about it also gives women social equality and justice when we
Yeah.
empower women. When you educate a woman, they know how to advocate for themselves, their children. They know what to get for their children. They know what their children want. They will read with their children. And today, I have some very beautiful pictures to show about reading, And then
Okay.
they also gain environmental sustainability, like what we're doing here. And then peace and security. Everything. Let us empower our women. You might say, oh, I don't have that much. You don't have to have that much. $1 will go a long way. One Global Movement is coming up with a digital magazine and physical magazine. Digital magazine, you can help One Global Movement so we can help these women. Just subscription of $1 a month will be enough. $1 a month. You can even walk and pick the one on the street, because there's money on the street all the time, and then you pay for that subscription. So we are building this foundation for all of these things to take place, but I'm doing it piecemeal because I have to build it. If I don't do it, I relegate it into the hands of others. It might not go the way that we want it to go. So thank you guys so much for listening to our broadcast for today. I am going to pull up some pictures here, and we celebrate Sana, but we're going to sing a birthday song. I'm not a good singer, but hell, I can sing. Okay?
All right.
All right, let's go here. Let me pull it up on the screen here. And as we do this, I want to really thank Sister Sharon for the wonderful job that she is doing here. And these days is even a lot. And thank you so much, Sister Sharon. So here comes our beautiful princess and ambassador Sana Jerome. Do you see Sister Yvonne?
No, it's not up yet, sister. You have to click
Oh.
share. I'm beginning. You didn't know that, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm just rushing.
You're very
rushing into
excited. That's
stuff,
all. You're
okay?
excited. That's all. That's all. You have to click
Yes,
share.
too excited.
But it is exciting
What
time.
is
She's so fierce and beautiful looking, bold, but nice little girl there. Yeah. How old is she
wait?
today? Do you know her
I
birth?
want
Do you
to
know
share
her
some
date?
pictures.
Huh?
No dates. No.
Okay. All right.
She's gonna be 8. 8 years.
She's gonna be 8. That's a nice
Okay.
age. Fix your mic. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I'm going to fix it here. Where I'm trying to share the pictures here, but I don't see it. Usually say present. I don't see it.
You don't see
Like, 1
present?
second, guys. Uh-oh.
Yes.
Oh my God, the network.
Oh, it's your network. Okay. All right. And now you've dropped off. Hello, everyone. As you can tell, Sister Mundih is having a little bit of challenge with her network. She wants to share some beautiful pictures of Sana Jerome, our birthday girl and ambassador. So I'm imagining that she will be back shortly. Otherwise, she'll probably call and let me know what she's doing. So please just bear with us a bit more. We've got about 5 minutes to go before it's closing time. So are you frozen? You said, John. Oh, okay. All right. I'm not frozen, but some of you are. Okay. We just have to see how it goes. It is technology and it's not perfect. Neither are we. So I'm going to thank you everyone again for coming and listening to us. And I hope that you have something in mind as to how we can empower one another, women and men together, because we're supposed to be equal, as Sister Mundih has said at the beginning, we are meant to be equal, walking side by side for bettering this world, which is something that our Mr. Ashmafara has said in Unpassive many times, and that is where we all came together in Unpassive, and then we started learning about each other in One Global Movement. Okay, we can see Sister Yvonne. Yes, we can. Yes, can you hear me as well, John? Drop me something in the chat so we can know that we are simpatico here. John, are you there? I guess I'm not audible either. Where did Sister Monday go? Okay. All right. Okay, John, I don't see you responding.
Come out here.
Okay.
Sorry about that, guys. What we're going to do here is we're going to close for today. Tomorrow, we're going to share the pictures on the screen because I'll be in a better place. The internet here is not the best.
Okay, sister.
So,
all right.
We're going to celebrate Ambassador Sana Jerome tomorrow. Please, please,
Okay,
please.
then.
And I'm going to sing. I'm going to sing no matter what right now. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sana. Happy birthday to you. Thank you so much. We're going to celebrate again tomorrow. The internet is not the best. I love you all. I thank you all. We're not going to read everything here today, but I just want to thank everybody for coming. Tomorrow is a better day when I will not be on the farm. Then I can do it. I love you all, and bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye, sister.
I want you because you're the one who gave this. It's gone. Oh, that's okay. You're done.